And we're live.
Hi.
Hello. Right, let me just see if there's anybody about and say a quick hello, introduce myself in a sec. Okay. Hello to anybody out there. I am Emily Coucher. I'm an astrologer, a tarot card reader, and a moon lover. And I have a beautiful guest today who I will introduce to you properly in just a moment. Bear with me. Please ask any questions if you have any. Done. Right. Okay, so this is MaryKate, or would you like me to call you MK? Which would you prefer?
MaryKate.
MaryKate.
MaryKate Medicine.
Yes. Okay, so let me introduce my guest. My beautiful guest, MaryKate, is an elevated healer, an astrologer, a mama, and a shamanic mentor. She is a power source of energy, discovering her unique way to exactly what she wanted. Oh, God. My reading is terrible today.
You're doing brilliant. You're doing brilliant.
Through wealth through mastering tools such as astrology, human design, gene keys, and shamanic practices.
All of it. Throw it all in the bucket.
She combined everything she learned with being a leader and a businesswoman, which created her signature process. Well, hello and welcome.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm brilliant. Thank you so much for inviting me on here. I love that you're a Gemini as well. Gemini, Sagittarian. Let's play this.
Yes. So tell us your big three. So our audience, anyone who knows astrology might like to know.
My big three, my boobs and my bum, actually. But my big three,
I love
typical Saggy answer. I'm a Saggy sun. I'm a 29-degree Scorpio rising. So depends what day you catch me, Emily. But my moon's in Libra. So hail all, the South Node, new moon, solar eclipse. Let's bring this.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Nice mix of jollification and seriousness.
You know I'm going to forget one of those at some point in the conversation after that. Oh, what was again? Okay, so let's start at the beginning. It's a very good place to start. Anyway, I won't sing too much Sound of Music. Although I do kind of end up singing bits every so often randomly throughout interviews, and I try to stop that.
Sing away. We're exactly the same.
Seriously. Oh, I used to get told off in my classes, well, sometimes by my mentor, Sarah El Harar, who's actually been on he's actually been on my channel at one point, so it was really cool. But she was just like, Emily will give you some kind of lines in the comments of what she's got, what's going through her head, or what she intuitively is channeling. There she is.
Always good fun. Always good fun.
Yeah. Anyway, so what was young MaryKate like? And did you have any kind of passions then?
I think essentially young MaryKate was not that different to big MaryKate now. Bubbly, lively, cheeky, from an Irish family, so lots of music, lots of crack, lots of not crack cocaine, the Irish crack, fun, lots of jokes, and really into magical stuff. Still now, my most favorite thing in the world is a rainbow, a real rainbow. I get to see them all the time because I now live on the west coast of Ireland, and it genuinely just opens, and pours with rain, and then the sun will come out and these incredible rainbows are everywhere. I'm living my dream. So little MaryKate loved rainbows, probably would have stolen a unicorn if she could, but
I was just going to say, and unicorns.
Yeah, all that shizzle. And would also steal kittens. I mean, I was just talking to you before we came on. The universe has thrown a kitten at me from the sky. And essentially I was kind of that Acme kid from like, I'm gonna love you and squeeze you and look after you forever. That was the kind of child I was. And as I grew older, I think the Scorpio rising came in a little bit more. You know, as a youngster, I was a big Saggy. I'm just moving my piece, Lily. Sorry to be unprofessional.
And the kitty, is it still okay?
If I can just show, there you go. This is my beauty, but also an absolute little nightmare. So yeah, I'm one of those. I love my naughtinesses, but they tend to get me into trouble.
All the best ones do, don't they?
All the best ones do, Emily. Yes, they do.
Cool. So, okay, what came first? Was it sort of passions of things all shamanic and spiritual or whatever, or was it business stuff?
I think, you know, when I left to go to university, I think a lot of us, you know, when we finally kind of move away from our family for the first time, we get our eyes opened, don't we? Whether it's just to learn how to do the washing up on your own, or, you know, or to cook for yourself, or for me and for many of, you know, my clients, it's my eyes were opened to the conditioning that I'd grown up inside of, and I became thirsty, hungry to understand my ancestry and to understand my conditioning and why I thought a certain way, versus a lot of the people that I was meeting that were my age, you know, looked like me, kind of did the same things as me, but thought differently to me. And so that became a massive passion for me. And I went very, very deep into both psychology, but also the occult and astrology. And I wanted to understand people. And by my third year at university, well, basically by the first year, but definitely by the third year, people were just knocking on my room door and asking for readings because they'd heard that, you know, I was able to tell their fortune, because that's how we described it back then. And I did the, you know, cards and astrology, and actually I kind of cut my teeth on it that way, because the more I read, the more I learned about people, the more I could see similarities with aspects and placements. And it wasn't until I kind of left university and had to get a job and make some money, the business side took over, and I realized, again, human design, I'm a 4-1. So I'm very much like the 1 line is an investigator, wants to go down the rabbit hole and more and more and more, and come back up to the 4, which is the network, and go, oh my God, let me tell you what's down there. Because a lot of them won't go down there, but I can tell you what it's like. And I might even take you down there if you want to come with me, because it's really good to have a guide. So that's sort of the energy that I naturally took on. And I went into recruitment. And again, everything is perfect in this world. I had no idea that recruitment was going to serve me so well, that when people came in, they had to fill in their date of birth on the registration forms. I was like, ooh, he's a Scorpio. Oh, yeah. She's a Virgo, get her over in administration now. We need a really, really good PA, sort her, she'll do it. You know, so it actually really helped me. So the business side was fantastic, because I had a great network, and I always had an eye for matching people in the recruitment side. But my gate in human design is 26, which is the natural salesperson. And my God, did I love sales. And it was just a competition. It was just joy. It wasn't to get anything. It was to give whoever was in front of me the best experience and the best product or service that would change their life. And little did I know that, you know, 20 years later, that's exactly what I would be doing in my own business, which was teaching people how to find their own gold to completely shift their life. So I feel like it was like this concurrent path. They were all intertwined with each other to get to here.
Oh, amazing. So I don't really know an awful lot actually about human design, although I did have a reading from my friend, but he wrote things on a piece of paper, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to scan that in and have it all on my computer and make sure I can actually see it more often. And then I forgot all about it, and it's somewhere. All I know is that I'm like a manifesting generator, and I've got like a sacred authority or something.
Yeah.
But that's all I know.
And, you know, it's really, I mean, all of these systems, whether it is our astrology, whether it's human design, you know, it's reading the I Ching, it's yoga teachings, earth wisdom, shamanic training, doing, you know, there's a lot of kind of business personality tests as well that can take out little parts that are less, I suppose, spiritual, but still they look at our personalities. Whatever these things are, they're all designed to help us know ourselves better. And you don't necessarily have to learn them, but they are great maps. And whatever you're drawn to is always the best one for you at any given time. Sorry, my peace lily is literally being chewed as if it is some sort of catnip. And it's not catnip, Emily. It's not.
No. Bad kitty. Go to the corner.
Bad kitty. Bad kitty.
Where to go from there? Yeah, so I wasn't sure. What would you define as a shaman, or yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think, you know, ancient shamanic traditions, essentially a shaman, the word, has come from the smaller villages that would have been living very, very closely to the earth, the natural cycles of the earth and nature. And there would be a person or people inside of those villages, those tribes, those communities that lived very close to spirit, that could see people's energy systems, and that were essentially brave enough, I suppose, courageous enough to go into the other paradigms and bring energies back to heal, or to give more of a context to people, and to give them hope and joy and more freedom. And I think as time's gone on, that name has become very popular, the word shaman. It started, as far as I know, like as in Siberia. That was the name that they used. But there was so many other words for this person in the tribes. And my name, MaryKate Medicine, comes from my Native American tradition, which, again, they had shamans, or whatever they would call them. They were actually called Medowin. And Medowin was a mixture of union, like union of sky and earth and people and spirit. But when the English speakers came over and were in those traditions, they heard Medowin and thought, oh, it's just like medicine. And that's what they do. They administer medicine. So then that tradition of medicine man or medicine woman came about. And we still use that a lot at the moment. You know, it's all over Instagram. I'm a medicine woman, I'm a medicine man, you know, and I use it myself because it's an interesting concept. And also we are learning about what our medicine is. So I think shaman and medicine are very similar sort of energies. It's bringing the world that is unseen, whether that's external or internal, to light, so that we can work with it and we can become more aware of who we are and, you know, what we're truly doing here.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. It's like the whole as above, so below, as within, so without, as a body. So yeah, that's really cool. So you've obviously used that in lots of different ways throughout basically just being you. But how have you then used some of that in your business?
Well, I think firstly, again, like kind of going back to recruitment, you know, I helped people match up with other people. So for example, I'd have a client that wanted a certain type of person and then a candidate that fitted that bill. You know, you could call me a bit Cilla Black. What's behind curtain number 3? But, you know, it was a bit of a matchmaker. But I did that through intuition and being really deeply connected to each person rather than just asking questions, really understanding their energy and what their why was. You know, why do you want this type of person? Why do you want this type of role? What is it going to give you in the long term? And let's, you know, try and move that together. And that just, those questions just would come up in me reading people's charts. you know, and then from there it was like, hold on a minute, right, okay, so you've got these planets, that's great, but what are we going to do with that? How are we going to move you from, yeah, my son's in Sagittarius, to what does that mean? How does that actually help you move in the world? How does that make you create the life that you want to live? And so then I went into coaching, and from coaching and mentoring, I got lots of coaching and mentoring myself, and started to see how I could bring that into the, you know, the chart reading. And it was no longer just about giving someone their fortune, it was helping them co-create their best life with the tools, the skills, the talents that they innately had. And I think the shamanic stuff came deeper and deeper as I did my own healing, but also when I started working with people closely, one-to-one, I wanted to get them embodied. You know, I could see things that were in their way, and I knew from my shamanic training that they required more peace, and they weren't able to get it logically here, and it needed to come through them in a very embodied way. So they all started to marry up, really. And then what happened was my clients started to reflect that, and then I was getting healers wanted their readings done. Healers wanted me to show them how to create their healing business, how to create more audience, how to connect with more clients. So it kind of just became two different businesses all melded into one. Heal the healer.
Yes. And of course, with Scorpio rising, you're prepared to go for the depths, to come out the other side, and then with all the rest of it, show people the way. That's really cool.
Oh,
you're like the embodiment of your own chart.
She's a dark horse. Is that Scorpio rising? Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. And as you say, like as astrologers anyway, that's the magic, isn't it? It's not, okay, so you have this, you have that. Well, what does it mean? You're breaking it down for the layperson to understand, and then, well, actually, I can't live your life for you. But if you do this in this particular time frame, potentially these kind of results might happen for you. But if you do this path, this could be trickier because so and so. But actually, where do you want to go? What resonates with you? And it's kind of get into the magic of that. And as you say, if you're doing that for business clients, then you're really elevating their business, and there's the elevated healing. Woo!
And yeah, you know, the more we look at the bigger context of, you know, who we are at the moment, why we're here at the moment, what is it about all of this that is, you know, intriguing so many more people now, you know, on the internet and across the world. Everyone's healing, everyone's bloody healing, thank God, you know. But back in the day, nobody was interested in bloody healing, and now it has become a business. And I'm actually trying to move away from the word business, but at the same time to understand that if you've got the calling to heal yourself, and therefore to shine enough to assist other people with healing as well, then at some point there is going to be an understanding of how to generate a tribe, an audience, hold them, lift them, elevate them. So for me, it's leadership. It's teaching people their own personal leadership. The chart is fantastic for showing where you are a natural leader. In what area are you a natural leader? Not everyone is the Mars, you know, Aries, let's go to the front of the tribe and prepared to go and, you know, face the king with the sword and all of that stuff. You know, we do have the Virgos that are maybe to the side slightly, but they know the tactics, they understand the strategy, they look at the plans and the lay of the land. And potentially as well, we've also got that gorgeous nurturing of Virgo, that then any of the wounded comes back and gets, you know, mended, healed, the Slav. Then we've got the Scorpios that are like, would you like me to dip your arrows in some poison for you? I'm very, very adept at that. You know? then you've got the Geminis that are like, I'm going to go and negotiate, or I'm going to go and do the propaganda and enroll people in, and everyone's got their own brilliant, natural, innate energy to be a leader. And that's what I love the most when I'm reading a chart. I'm like, right, where would I put you? What would be your leadership? And what do we need to, bring out? And maybe what do we need to close down in order for that to rise, to shine, to emanate and elevate?
Yeah, love it. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's really beautiful, actually. Okay, so
I love your tapestry behind you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my dining room needed to be more of a studio, and I thought, do you know what? I was just looking online for things related to the zodiac and things related to the moon, and this kind of incorporates both. So you've got the lunar phases, and then you've got a bit of astrology, although the actual wheel isn't accurate, but it's kind of a depiction.
But it's pretty.
It's pretty, and it's kind of orangey, and it's like my colours are orange and green, and yeah,
brilliant.
Branding. Although maybe in the centre I should have my logo where the sun is. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Might do that one day. But you've got a cozy theme as well. It's like, right, okay, we've got some darkness, but we've got a bit of light, and we've got a bit of like, yeah.
We've got the fire. We've got the fire.
Oh, yeah, you're creating the aesthetic with the candles, aren't you? Oh, there's a Libra.
I've recently moved from England to the west coast of Ireland, and one of the things that I'm learning to be with at the moment is the light. I mean, we're moving into the dark, side of the wheel now anyway, but it's getting dark very, very early. And also to find where things are aesthetically pleasing in the home for things like this. Because I knew where I was before. So I'm playing with this. So this is quite nice to be able to play with this and see, especially on our solar eclipse. And on Friday the 13th as well, Emily.
I know. Oh, yeah. I saw you posted something about Friday the 13th. Can you tell us a little bit about Friday the 13th and its origins? Because that was really cool.
Yeah, I do love this. I think Friday the 13th is one of the things that we can look at as a twist of our consciousness at the moment. So it's always been, oh, Friday the 13th is so unlucky. It's like walking under a ladder and the black cat and all that kind of stuff. But originally, this was a very strong power portal. Now, I don't subscribe to the Gregorian calendar anyway. So in terms of the 13th, that's just a numerical portal. It wouldn't be a very specific day in, let's say, the Celtic or the Druid or the pagan calendar. But Freya's day is Friday, and that's the Venus energy. And Monday we have the Moon Day, Mercury Day. We've got Mars Day, all of that. Yeah. So what many people don't realize is that the days of the week are named after the planets, the 7 visible planets. And Freya's day is the only feminine day. And then the 13 has such a powerful implication because a woman bleeds 13 times a year with 13 moons. Because we do actually have 13 moons in our Gregorian year. We don't have 12. And we know this as astrologers when we see, oh, there's a blue moon or there's two Aquarian full moons this year. And you're like, oh, I wonder why that is. And when we have a look at history, we understand that there's been a lot of changing of history, from her story to his story. And one of the things that was very powerful was these were the days where women would come together and create magic. And there were goddess days and goddess numbers. 13 is the phallus and the 3 is the breasts. And you put those together and that's divine union.
Wow.
on Freya's day. These are magical elements that were, no, this is bad luck. And we've changed everything to 12 and taken away the magic of 13 so that we can control. But we're awakening now, and we're awakening to our remembering of the magic, the portal, the womb portal of the woman, and to astrology. You know, that this ancient wisdom isn't just about reading your horoscopes and saying, are you going to meet a tall, dark, handsome guy next week? It's a lot more, you know, the sacred geometry, the frequencies, the vibration, the connectivity, the synchronicity that you just couldn't make up that's inside of these charts. It's mind-blowing, and I'm so happy to see it rising again as a popular ancient wisdom.
Yeah, me too, definitely.
Mm.
I have to do it. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Of Aquarius.
When the moon is in the 7th house. Yes, I also do it. Don't worry. And Jupiter's aligned with Mars. I have Jupiter and Mars conjunct. So, yeah, big, strong masculine energy in here, but also I can bring out the feminine when required.
Oh, wow. There's clearly some kind of like acting or voice talent there, isn't there?
Mercury's on my ascendant, love.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you can get the deep voice.
Yes, I can go all the way down. That's the joke in itself. We'll leave that there. That's a Scorpio rising joke for you. Only a Scorpio rising can get away with that, love. Anyway.
Oh, wow. That's weird because actually we could go into it in a minute, but because obviously we've got the eclipse is peaking tomorrow and we're kind of in the midst of the energy, but I thought this is so very Libra eclipse even. This is, in my Mugwort job, one of the secretaries left today. She's got a Libra moon and she's a Scorpio. And I mean, there's been like slightly complicated relationship between us over the years, but apart from that, she's just like, this feels like really my time to be leaving. I've been waiting like 5 years to leave until my mum's feeling okay, and I really want to go traveling. I really want to do all these things and get some sunshine and do humanitarian aid around the world. And but I want to see this my boyfriend that's a long distance boyfriend, because I can't have him too close, can I? And it's like, right, well, there you go. There's some of the Scorpios, like slight bit of a trust issue, but that's fine because actually a lot of us have trust issues anyway. But it was also a case of it's on an eclipse, and it was like, well, the eclipses can bring about endings, but they can also bring about beginnings. And I was thinking about South Node eclipses can be about breaking away from the past, in my opinion. And it's kind of, I think she's sort of delving into that and following her moon and her sort of taking away some of the habits of people pleasing and actually living her truth. So it's kind of really cool.
I love it when we see it in real life.
I know.
Astrology moving through the stories of people's days. And I like it when they don't even know, you know, and we're like,
oh, I told her.
Oh my God, I know what that is. Oh my God, that's the moon. Couldn't have happened any other time. I mean, it's actually quite fun. And my friend's like, oh, for God's sake, does everything have to be astrology? I'm like, well, no, not everything, but yeah.
Kind of, yeah. My husband's the same. He's just like, oh, right, how is it astrology now?
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one this next couple of weeks now. You know, we've got, you're right, you know, the South Node releases things that no longer serve. It's the excretion side of the energy. But with it being a new moon, of course, you know, that is allowing for something new to arise. And it might not be immediate. It might just, we need to let go first. But there is like this simultaneous sort of energy happening. And I think people are ready for it. Sorry, that's my kitten. I think people are ready for this. And, you know, you mentioned people-pleasing tendencies with Libra. Yes, there is that. But there's also this understanding of, if I want us to get along, I do need to have my own sovereignty, my own boundaries. I need to know who I am first. I can't create a boundary without understanding where I begin and where you end, and what is mine and what is yours. And actually, when we understand that, we can create beautiful relationships, which is where the full moon's going to be. And although the full moon's in Taurus, it's very close to that North Node that's just moved, you know, back into Aries. Yeah. So we have that opportunity within the next couple of weeks to really practice the me and we. And I'm seeing with Mars in Scorpio at the moment, a lot of it is about, I'm going to piss you off with my choices. I'm going to have to hold myself while you play with your anger over there. And at some point, trust the process, that we're going to come back into unison and have a really confident conversation that will either, you know, bring us back to balance or break us off into new directions. And I'm seeing this happening all over the place at the moment. You know, addictions, marriages, secret affairs, things coming to the surface, not necessarily coming out, but coming to the surface to be reckoned with internally before the conversation happens externally.
I was thinking, because there's a lot of sort of Saturn and Pluto energy, isn't there? And then there's also, I believe, Venus and Mars have just changed signs as well. There's kind of so many things.
Venus, beautiful, moved from that long Leo fucking drama situation. Sorry, excuse my swearing. Into Virgo, and when she entered Virgo, she was opposite Saturn. Mars has just moved into Scorpio. When he entered Scorpio, he was trine Saturn. Saturn is the ruler of all of these movements at the moment, and Saturn in Pisces is about our maturity in spirituality.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's all right saying Mars in sexy Scorpio, Venus is in sensual Virgo. Scorpio, what's his name? I was going to call him Sagittarius. Saturn's a bit like, do you know what this really means if you follow your passion? Like, do you understand where you're going now? Are you ready to take on something that has got more gravitas, a little bit more longevity, something that means something to the world, not just you, your ego, your body, your pleasure, you know, your hedonism? Heal the world, make it a better place. Go on, carry on. You know the rest of the words.
For you and for me.
In the human race. Come on, pumpkin, let's go.
I can't remember the rest of it. How convenient, actually.
But yeah, Saturn be ruling a lot of these lunations at the moment.
But of course, transit, yeah. But of course, with Saturn comes the work. We can't just expect it all to kind of fall on our plate, can we? We actually have to do some work to get there and make sure it's aligned with our purpose and everything else, because otherwise, what's the point?
It makes me laugh, though, because it's like, do you read astrology? Will you read my fortune? Well, what if I told you that all you've got going for you at the moment is the work? Yeah, everybody's got Saturn somewhere in their chart.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing about Saturn in your chart is it's your mastery point as well. It's where you master life. And if you follow diligently what it's asking of you, yes, you'll probably fall and fail along the way, but you will become a master in that area.
Yes.
Where's your Saturn?
Without looking at my chart, I think it's actually in Sag as well. So I was thinking, does that mean that my work is on my husband? So I got to work and make sure my husband does his thing and follow him.
May well be. But also on wisdom. Ooh.
Well, yeah. And actually, maybe there is some work in travel and actually taking my business around the world a bit. And I kind of feel like that is what would really be beautiful for us. Because he really wants to actually go to Madeira and live there. And I was thinking, that sounds beautiful, but I kind of need some kind of, we need the funds behind us. And in my case, I need more of the clients, the product sales and things to go with it. But yeah, we're going in June actually to see what it's like and everything, and it just feels so exciting. And
wow,
yeah,
a big change.
It will be huge if we actually can make that all work. We're just going on for a holiday in June, but yeah, it's just I can see it. I really can see it, because one of my friends actually, who I studied with in Deborah Silverman School of Astrology, she was actually my buddy, as it were, and she's actually Portuguese from Funchal, and I was like, right, perfect. So when I told her, by the way, I'm coming to see you, she's like, yeah, you can have a hug in person. I'm like, yes, we can. And we can talk astrology, and you can talk about whatever it is, like Reiki and whatever else she does. And I'm like, yes, perfect.
Oh wow, how exciting.
Yes.
I love that. I love that.
And the really cool thing is that if you do have a business where you're literally, you can see clients on Zoom, which is kind of what I do when I do readings. And actually you could sell products that you design and make or outsource with your designs, whatever, around the world as well. It doesn't have to be in one place. And with my husband, if he does end up doing some sports courses and actually becoming a personal trainer out there as well, and using some of his knowledge that he's gained from various different jobs he's had, he's really good with sort of like the human resources and marketing side. So if he's really good with that, I'm hoping that the more he learns with actually doing it physically as a business for himself, the more that we can go together and he can do some of that market me as an astrologer, right? It's forcing you out here. You can't just be talking the talk. You need to actually show people and be more in the limelight and give it more fire that he's got. So I've got the sort of like air, he's got the fire. Together, it's pretty cool marriage and
like
partnership.
A winning dream. It sounds like a winning dream.
Yeah. Anyway, more about you. What some of like goals and things that you have, and how do you stay consistent and manifest some of your dreams into reality?
Well, I don't know if I'll stay consistent at manifesting anything, to be perfectly honest, but I'm here anyway. For me, my biggest change, recently has been moving countries.
Yeah.
My two daughters, and we're still very, very much at the beginning. We've only really been here for a month, and that has been something that has been on my heart and the girls' hearts for at least 10, if not 20 years. For me, I've always wanted to come to this place. It's somewhere that I was, my parents were brought up here. I came back here a lot in the summer when I was a youngster and for holidays, and it was always somewhere magical. And I think, a lot of my friends and my family knew I loved it here, but thought, well, she'll never live there because it's very small, and it's great being on holiday there, but it's not so great living there. And actually, so far, I'm really loving it, and it's a call for me. It's not just about moving. For me, I'm very, very connected to my spirituality. I'm very, very connected to the voice and the call, and I'm very serious about listening to my body, listening to my intuition, following it. And because when I haven't, it's got me into trouble. And when I have, it's got me into trouble as well, but it's got me into better trouble when I have.
Well, yeah.
I'm always in trouble. So that was a really, really big test for me, Emily, to really listen to my body, really listen to my call, really follow the signs, the synchronicities, because I was running and I'm running, a really beautiful online business, which, like you said, you can run from anywhere in the world. But my call was to be here on this particular land, and it feels like the shamanic energy of me wants to be here. It's the land that my bones and blood are made of. And I really feel that call. We talked about, you know, what is a shaman at the beginning, and for me, the unseen realms here speak to me. And so I feel like if I was a shaman in years gone by, in lives gone by, it would have been here. It would have been in this space. So following that call has been not only a manifestation, but it's been the work. My Saturn is sat on my MC. So it's literally my work in the world is like Saturn goes, no, you must be a master if you want to do this. And I'm like, I want to go. It's like, nope. Have you mastered everything? And it's in Virgo. Just if you'd like a few details, everything's got to be perfect. There is no way out of it. It's got to be perfect. The cat is now literally eating the peace lily again. Get down. So everything is be so fucking perfect. And that has driven me insane. But also Saturn at that point in your chart, if anyone's listening that has got that, it is about maturing into your mastery later in life. And for me, I always thought I've got this dream of this beautiful healing center or offering on this land. And for me, I thought I should have, you know, done that 10 years ago, because I'm Sag and I gallop through things. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. And yet every day I sit here, I feel like, oh my God, this is perfect timing. Everything is in divine order. I couldn't have done this if I hadn't have been through that. I couldn't have met her if I hadn't have gone through this. And we wouldn't be bonded if this thing hadn't have happened. So there's lots of really beautiful maturing that has happened. I wouldn't say I stay consistent with my manifesting. I'd say I stay consistent with my calling. Yeah. And that doesn't always make sense. That doesn't always look logical, but I'm really learning to follow my intuition, my call, no matter what it looks like.
Yeah. Speak it, sister. It's just there was something that came up as well, actually. It's I'm coming home. Oh God, ignore that vocal. Excuse me. But yeah, tell the world I'm coming home. Anyway, because
it feels that way.
Yeah, I was thinking. I feel that Virgo is also about not just meticulousness and being of service and things, but it's also about not just that. It's like the sacred service. It's like bringing the sacred into everyday life and making it part of your routine and making it like your breath and your groundedness and everything. It's like it is like another embodiment. Although I associate embodiment with Taurus, it's still grounding because they're earth signs. It's like we are still connected in many different ways to the earth, to the healing, to the world around us. And you got the sun and the moon representing this, the masculine and feminine, but they're also the masculine and feminine us. It's kind of, we are the medicine, and your life is your medicine, as Dr. Cassie Huckabee says. Your life is your medicine.
Yeah. We are the medicine. Yes, we are. That's what we came for, honey. We came to transmute all this shine to light.
Yes, we did. Oh, yeah, we've still got your books in there. But yeah, I was just thinking, actually, I am somebody who does that whole chanting. It's mostly when I'm in the shower, but I also incorporate it into every little bit of my day. It's like, well, if I'm in a lift in the Muggle job, I am doing a chakra healing chant. If I'm going down in the lift, I'm doing a Kali healing chant, because it's kind of like Kali's going down into the underworld and she's like destroying all the rubbish and poop. I don't tend to swear on my channel, but I don't care if other people do. It's just really weird. I don't mind if other people do, but for me it's just like I'm somebody who's been taught to be the good girl, as it were, in life, and I probably should heal some of that as well.
You get to be you.
I get to be me. Okay.
Whatever
I'll
feels
say
good
it your
to
way.
you.
Heal the shite and turn it into light. And
Look at her go.
there, enter Mary Kate. Tell me about your books.
I did have them somewhere. They're up high. Let me do this. Look.
Medicina in Moderna.
Yeah. Look. They're there.
Ooh.
I would pull them down.
I'd have to really squint to read them though.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Let me see if I can assist with this.
Okay.
Yes, I can. Here we go. I don't know if it's turned around the right way. So the shite to light.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's the calling.
Mm-hmm.
And Medicina and Men.
Ooh.
I know. I was writing one book.
Yeah.
And as I started writing, lots of different things started coming out. And when I took it to the editor, she was like, yeah, this is 3 books. This isn't one book. You're not writing War and Peace, love. Well, actually, I am. It is about war and peace. Peace plant that has been killed, the peace lily, is no longer peaceful. It was a pretty scary thing when she was like, this is 3 books, 3 different trajectories. Do you want to write 3? And at first I started looking at, well, which one would I choose then? And when I looked at Shite to Light, which was the first one, and I'd always wanted to write that. And, if you read the beginning of the book, it tells you why. But ultimately, I was like, oh, but the rest of it is really important, because Shite to Light is only an introduction, really, to my own story. Whereas the calling is a lot more about sisterhood. And, you mentioned business there. Come down, darling. Sorry, we have now wrapped up kitten. The business sisterhood I've found, there's a lot on the internet at the moment about how network marketing and, using your network to create your net worth. And I think that's been taken out of context and turned into, every person that you meet, including, your healing circle, is worth £1 and you can sell them something. And, I've been in a lot of big marketing, especially when I've been, learning more about my business, big marketing gurus, sales gurus, then quite a lot of coaches and healers and mentors that are using these incredible techniques, but they are techniques to enroll people. And I think the art of sisterhood has been lost along the way in some of the healing circles, because money and business has come in. And I fell in that. I definitely fell down in that, chasing the dollar rather than chasing hearts. But calling it hearts, of course. And I wrote about that in the calling, who you know yourself to be. Why are we doing this? We can do better. And then Medicina and Men was a little bit more about my own personal experience of the feminine and the masculine. And we can't heal without understanding those parts of ourselves. We've, like we mentioned about the Friday the 13th, we're not just one. We're all those aspects. We're not just one chart, we're all one planet, our sun sign. We've got all the planets.
Yeah.
All of these things. And sometimes that's slow and quiet and deep and wise and reflective and incredibly intimate. And sometimes it's crazy and loud and partying and, and frivolous and free and, swearing and all those kind of things. And we've got all, we do. And I, when she said, do you want to write all 3? I went, in standard MaryKate style, I went, fuck it. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So I did. And I think it was an achievement for me, self-published. So it wasn't like, big advances or anything like that. It was just, I think I just wanted to let it come out of me. And it was a permission for me to feel like I'd completed a certain part of my healing. And actually, since the books have been published, it's now that I'm able to walk forward and be the master that I genuinely feel I am now. Whereas before I was practicing, and now I feel okay saying that without ego, just like, yeah, I'm a master, I have my mastery. I'm still learning, but I have my mastery now.
I think a lot of us actually want that, don't we? We want to realize that we are the leader of our own story. We are that master. And actually, if we don't treat ourselves as the important leading character in our lives, then why are we living in that way? Why are we letting society dictate who we are and actually giving away our power, our life, our medicine, our everything to other people instead of actually realizing the beauty and the essence of who we are? It's kind of, we need to actually partially to feel it to heal it, because actually you can't just expect, oh yeah, I revisited something briefly and it's gone now. Realizing that actually there's more layers and layers to everything in life, but also respect ourselves to go for what we are passionate about, and respect ourselves to actually be in the moment and really go there. Because actually, if we don't, then we're doing the world a bit of a disservice. In a way, we are brought here on purpose with some kind of purpose to fulfill, whether we know it or not. So, yeah.
And we might never know it.
And that's okay too.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the most beautiful wisdoms that has been sitting with me for not that long, but it's there now, is I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I don't know what our purpose is. I can tell you what I think it is according to the chart. I can read my interpretation of it. I can share with you the reflection that I have of your energy and your essence, but it's still my interpretation. And I haven't been anywhere off this planet, as far as I know, since I became MaryKate, since I came into this world. So what I know is very limited. What all of us know is very limited. We can intuit. We can look back in history. We can look forward to the future. We can predict. We can discern. But do we really know? And I think the best that we can do is to sometimes say, I don't know. And actually what that does is it opens our hearts to being able to be in awe and wonder.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Oh, I was just thinking the difference of the spiritual world and the freedom of being able to be your own boss versus being in the corporate world. If you say, I don't know, it's like, well, you must know something. Tell me something. Give me an answer.
Yeah.
And you're pushed for that kind of masculine response. I know the masculine isn't necessarily a bad thing. The masculine creates some action, but you need the balance of the feminine as well. And actually, the beauty of not knowing is like, well, I don't know right now, but I could find out. Actually, let's explore this a bit further.
Yeah. There's a bit of...
It's a shame that people aren't always allowed that kind of concept in some of the corporate world jobs.
I think it's very, very slowly being incorporated, because we're starting to see CEOs, feminine CEOs that want to bring that in, because they're starting to see that their workforce are becoming exhausted and burnt out, and they have to do something about well-being and healing. It's never going to be fully that way. I have seen businesses set up through the healing industry that aim to be feminine only and intuition only. But that can't happen, because, like you said, the masculine holds the structure. It's the action. It's the, the feminine's the void, the chaos, the magic. But you can't have all of that if you don't have the container. And in business, a lot of the time, the container is the processes. Is the funnel if you've got a sales process. Is the customer experience journey. It's the administration. If you don't have those processes in place, you can't be intuitive and creative with the feminine energy. So it's an interesting balance. And I found a lot actually this summer when I was moving to this country, a lot of people wanted definite answers from me and definite times, definite things. And they were getting so frustrated, so angry, almost being like they felt personally attacked because I was like, it'll happen. It's fine. I trust. I'm okay. And they kind of projected onto me that I didn't have any sense. You know, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm a danger to myself. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm actually very much in tune with things that maybe you're not in tune with. You want masculine only, whereas I'm using both. So I think business is going to come along the line at some point. It won't be anytime soon, but there are more feminine-led CEOs and business owners that are introducing more of this intuitive way of working. But they probably still got stakeholders, honey, and they still want to see what money's coming in.
Money talks, money talks, dirty cash, I want you.
Dirty cash, I need you.
Oh, I hope this doesn't annoy people when they watch it back. We're like, oh, Emily's gone again.
With us. If you're not singing with us, you gotta get chilled out and enjoy this.
Yeah.
It's been such a lovely conversation with you.
Yeah. Is there any kind of advice that you would give people just starting out in business?
Well, in the healing business, I think firstly, know what it is that you want to do and why. You know, if you don't know why you're doing something, you're going to find yourself getting really, really stuck along the way. For me, my teachers kept saying to me, your why cannot be money. And I was like, it needs to be money because that's what business is about. And it took me a while to truly understand that my why wasn't about making money. I had to have something deeper than that, because there's times in the morning where I wouldn't get up because of money, believe it or not. But there'd be times in the morning where I felt exhausted, but I would still get up for my calling. I'd still get up for my why. I'd go that extra mile for my why. I'd stay later for my why. I'd dig a bit deeper for my why. I wouldn't dig a bit deeper for an extra tenner, or, you know, the frivolous energy won't keep you running for a very long time. What we require, specifically in the healing industry as well, is why are you doing what you're doing? And where is that fitting into your bigger vision of life? If it's not fitting in, fuck it. If it is fitting in, stay with it. And if your why changes, that's okay too. You know, get into a community of like-hearted people that want to do the same as you. Get good support. And it's hard in the beginning to ask for support because you can't always pay for support in the beginning, but support doesn't always come from paid places. It might be, you know, you get somebody who it works in a college and they can give you an hour of their time, or you've got a graphic designer friend that can give you an hour of their time, or you've got somebody like, for example, you send out parcels that can wrap for you, or just exchange in services. Get yourself in a network, get yourself into somewhere that feels like you belong. And I think, you know, so many spaces online now. We've got the Shamanic Sisterhood. Now, that's a brilliant place to come and meet other people that are in the same, you know, boat, essentially. And enjoy what you're doing. If you don't enjoy it, there's no point in doing it.
Perfect. So where can people find you then?
Feeding kittens, usually.
Okay.
Feeding kittens.
Googling feeding kittens, MaryKate.
You can find me on Instagram. I am MaryKate.medicine. You can find me on Facebook. I am MaryKate.medicine there as well. The Shamanic Sisterhood is my group, my community on Facebook. Come and join us. It's good fun. It's actually just reopened because it has been closed for a while. If you go in there, you'll see a live that I share about that. But I also go live every Sunday morning inside there exclusively to teach you about the aspects for the week and to give you some wicked, wily, cheeky wisdom. And we have a little bit of a party in there, 11 o'clock UK time on a Sunday. Come on in.
So is that a paid community or is it a free?
That's a free.
Or...
There's lots of other options where you can get VIP treatment, but come on into that one first. See how you like it.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you so much for talking with me, MaryKate. Is there anything else you want to add at all?
No, I want to say thank you to you for your beautiful energy. Thank you for inviting me. And I'm looking forward to watching it back myself. So much love.
Yeah, and to you. Thank you. I'm going to stop now. So bye-bye, people. Thank you.